So today, we're diving into Oslo, a city that isn't just talking about a greener future, it's literally engineering one. And it's doing it with a completely new playbook for how to run a city.
But first, let me ask you this. Think about your city's annual budget, all that cash, planned out to the last penny. Now what if, and this is a big what if every ton of carbon dioxide was treated with that same financial discipline? What if cutting emissions wasn't just a vague goal, but a hard line item that city departments had to answer for?
Well, in Oslo, that is not a hypothetical. It's happening right now. It's called the climate budget, and it's pretty revolutionary. It weaves climate targets directly into the city's financial DNA. Every single part of the city government, from transport to construction, gets a carbon allowance, and they cannot go over it. It turns big promises into cold, hard accountability.
But here's the thing, to really get how Oslo's pulling this off, how it's so boldly designing its future, we have to look back, way back, because this whole reinvention thing, it's kind of their specialty.
Okay, so picture this. Founded way back in the Viking Age, the original city of Oslo was around for centuries. But then, disaster. 1624. A massive fire just wipes the entire medieval city off the map. Gone. Instead of just rebuilding, the king ordered a whole new city built nearby and called it Christiania. It took until 1925 for the city to finally say, "No, we're Oslo," and reclaim that ancient identity. You see, this cycle of destruction and rebirth is literally in the city's bones.
The Oslo we see today is this vibrant, modern capital built on all those layers of history. It's a place that's proven time and again that it knows how to radically transform itself. And now it's staring down its biggest reinvention yet, tackling the climate crisis.
So you might be thinking, okay, that's great, but does all this intense focus on green policy make it a tough place to live? Well, not exactly. In fact, it's pretty much the opposite. Let's take a look at what life is really like in this city. The numbers from early 2025, they paint a really interesting picture. People have more money in their pockets, tourism is booming, new businesses are popping up. It totally busts that myth that you have to choose between a healthy economy and meaningful climate action. But you know, numbers only tell you so much. It's the people who live there that really give you the story. Listen to this from Christine Heine, an American PhD candidate there. Best place in the world for workers' rights. Wow, that says it all, doesn't it? This is a city that really takes care of its people.
And a huge piece of that quality of life is something pretty unique to Oslo. The city is an escape to nature. I mean, you're not just near it, you're in it. You can hop on a tram right in the city center, and in just a few minutes, you're literally on a ski track. It's this incredible fusion of urban energy and wild nature all in one place.
And you can really see the citizen buy-in on the streets. Okay, so get this, 40% of all cars are already electric. But the crazy part, a whopping 90% of new cars sold in 2024 were electric. The transition is happening at lightning speed. And it's not just about cars. People are walking more. 40% of all trips were made on foot. This is what it looks like when policy and people are pushing in the same direction.
All right, so all of this, the budget, the lifestyle, the transport revolution, it's all building towards one single massive goal. And honestly, it is incredibly ambitious.
Minus 95%. That's the number. The goal is to slash emissions to almost nothing compared to 2009 levels, and to do it by 2030. Just let that sink in for a second. That's not a trim. That's a near total overhaul of an entire city in just a few short years.
So, how on earth do you even begin to tackle a goal that big? Well, first you need a map. This is their map. It shows exactly where the emissions were coming from, and you can see the big offenders right away. Road traffic, waste incineration, construction sites. This data lets them be surgical, targeting the biggest polluters first for the biggest impact.
And this is their game plan. The dark line is the progress they've already made. The green sections show what they expect to cut with the policies they have in place. But look closely. You see that? Even with everything they're doing, there's still a gap to get to that 95% target. And I think it's pretty powerful that they're so honest about it. This is a monumental challenge, and they're not pretending it's easy. So that's the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? How are they planning to close that remaining gap? Well, the answer lies in a whole series of really bold, really systemic changes across the entire city. The climate budget is the engine that drives all of this. The entire public transport system is going electric. They're pioneering large-scale carbon capture at their big waste-to-energy plant. And this one is amazing.
All construction sites, public and private, must be fossil-free by 2030. Even the ships in the port have to plug into clean power instead of burning dirty fuel. See? They're hitting every single one of those major sources they identified.
Let's make this feel real for a second. Think about a normal construction site. It's loud, it stinks of diesel, there's dust everywhere. Now picture the Oslo model. It's powered by electric machinery. The result? The air is clean. It's quiet enough to hear yourself think, and there are zero emissions on site. It's a win for the climate and a massive win for the people living next door.
So when you step back and you put all of these pieces together, the history of reinvention, the focus on livability, and the radical accountability of the climate budget, you start to see a blueprint emerge, something people are now calling the Oslo model.
Look, if there's one single thing you remember from all of this, make it this. Oslo's true innovation is that it stopped treating climate change like some abstract, far-off threat. Instead, they treat it like a practical, manageable, line-item problem that you can solve with the same tools you use to manage money.
So, what can other cities learn from this? Well, first, be proactive. Weave your climate goals right into your budget. Second, be guided by data. You can't manage what you don't measure. Third, think big. Tackle entire sectors, not just individual habits. And finally, and this might be the most important one, never forget that green policies can and should lead to a better quality of life for everyone.
Ultimately, what Oslo is doing is running a bold experiment in our urban future. It's demonstrating that a city can, through sheer political will and clever governance, actually legislate a cleaner, healthier world into existence. The technology is here. The policies are written. The only real question left is, who has the will to follow?